real time this now. Isn't that great?
It's completely like 9, 8. I'm like, holy shit.
And you're not lagging at all.
Oh my God, this is awesome. I got tabs open.
This is so funny.
Oh, let's launch this mofo. There you go, Steven.
Look at that. Your timing is good and everything.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is amazing.
Except for that picture of Kathleen Kennedy and Jar Jar Abrams. It was
Love them. Love them. Down.
Look at how short my hair was back then.
Oh my God.
I was going to say, you were all, look at you. You look like it got that corporate look to it.
Yeah, I had just chopped it completely.
What is going on, everybody? No rowboat sport tonight. This is Sporking News Podcast, and you are here for the new adventure we call the Spork. This is the dump, everybody. I did not lag. I was able to see the videos. I am losing. Anybody could be on video right now. You don't have to have your avatar up. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself right now. This computer, because of you people, because of my members, super chats, super stickers, just you people being so kind to me, I was able to upgrade this whole system. Everything's upgraded. Everything except for the mic. I love this mic. I'm grateful. So thank you, everybody. Welcome to the dump tonight. We have a great panel. We'll have some people coming in, some people leaving. First up, though, the lady of the house. Let's welcome Jayne Theory to the panel.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here. You want me to do my whole intro?
Do it. Do it.
You can find me on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and pop culture commentary. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne. This is amazing. I can't believe I've been listening to you guys on my own show. Next up, he is the collective of guinea pigs, the master of furry little rodents that aren't rats, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective.
Nibble, nibble, nibble. We want those toes. Now that you got like really good working internet, we can actually just start like playing with your toes now and taking your internet out on
Got
you.
it, brother.
You'll be back to Spork before you know it. Spork will never die. Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, where you can find me nibbling off toes of people I can't stand, or maybe there's some topics that I just want to talk about, or maybe the guinea pigs want to talk about, because they're starting to take over my channel now. But anyway, you can find me talking about old toys and old movies and other such things, including some of the weird shit that I found in my father's house. So be sure to stop by. You can also find me on Twitter, and you can find the guinea pigs apparently on Twitter now too, because like a lot of other people that have their pet animals have their own Twitter account. The collective has got their own now too.
Oh, whoa. I didn't know that. Make sure that's in the link in the chat so we can check it out. That's awesome. All right. Thank you, Tommy, for being here tonight. And the artist of the fourth wave, one of the greatest sketchers during a stream you'll ever hear. It is Machiny90. What is up, my friend? That is a dope avatar.
Thank you. And I am happy to be here on the debut of Scott's brand new PC, which is running like an absolute dream.
Oh, my God. I love it, brother. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for being here, guys. My name is Machiny90. I am one of the artists of Fourth Wave, one of the many mods of Fourth Wave. I've been doing a lot of commission stuff this week, so I've been busy a lot. So that's why I wasn't on like some of the streams this week. So, but I'm hoping by next week I can, keep doing the stuff I need to do on the side while continuing producing the art content and stuff that you guys love. And I want to send a big thank you to everybody who subbed this week, because I'm now over at 452 subs now. So thank
awesome,
you,
dude. Keep up the good work.
Hell yeah.
ETEP, let's make it a quick one because we only got culture for a couple minutes. So give them the people's champ.
I am the Fandom Menace People's Champion, Etepo Queen of the Place to Be Reviews, right here with all of yous. And yeah, happy to be here on a Saturday night. That's the abridged version. There we go.
That was beautiful, dude. And Culture Casino for the 10 minutes left. We have them.
All right, cool. I'll do my intro and then I'll leave. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up tonight. This is a great celebration.
That's wrong. This is wrong, man.
I had so much fun hanging out with everybody. Scott's computer is a joy. We were over on Nina Infinity's channel. We all bopped over here. We're going to have a good time, a real quick one, and then I have to bounce out because I'm helping out somebody else tonight. You guys are great. I appreciate you. Please check out the Sunday Culture Review tomorrow morning. Makini 90 might drop in. We'll see. We've got a lot of great people that I want to have on that panel, and I'm gonna do what a Drunk 3PO does. I'm just going to keep inviting ladies on because apparently it is. And on Monday, I have a new video that's coming that I'm really proud of. It's something that the boss actually helped me put together because she wrote a letter. And so the culture boss is going to be featured in a way in a video. I'm going to read a letter that she wrote to me about her feelings on what's going on with television and things like that. So
cool, man.
I'm pretty excited to do that. So anyway, thank you for being here, guys. Love y'all. Let's go.
That is dope. Let's do this, people. Let's do. I got tabs open. I'm all excited to I'm not even paying attention, people. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. This is so good. Because we only have you for a few minutes, I'll jump to the chat after this article. Guys, thank you everyone for being here. Shane G, Roger Haynes, all you guys. I'll get to you guys in a second because you
had a
are
super chat too.
Well, I have a couple. So why don't we hit those real quick?
Yeah, hit the super chat and the member, dude.
Yep.
Oh, we got a member too. Look at that. The Clown World Review. Oh, that's Tony, right?
That's Tony, baby. What's
Tony,
up, Tony?
baby. Tony's got Tony has a great YouTube voice. I have $2. Well, you know what? I got your $2 now, brother. Thank you very much.
We have $2, comrade.
Yes. Not in this world. It's all capitalism here, my friend. And the great Storyman Jack, who has a channel of his own. Also, Tony does too, which is the Clown World Review. We'll try to get their links up in here. Storyman Jack became a member today, so I appreciate that, my friend. He supports everybody. He's always in our streams, always in our chats. I got to get him on a stream because he's amazing. Like, he has such a tone about him, the way he speaks and stuff. I love him.
Oh, he's great. He's a great storyteller. He's awesome. I love him. Oh, and he spent like $11 billion on his truck today, so I don't know how he has money to give you.
Well, I appreciate it. And Roger Haynes for Canadian $2 or $1.99. This super sticker, I'm guessing, is a thumbs up, my brother. Thank you for being here. Everybody else, really, thank you. I appreciate, people that were members, that are new members, that did super chat. You all got me here. So thank you very much. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm very happy. And for some reason, Makini is disconnected. Okay. Not my problem anymore. We're going to start out with this article. Yeah, right.
Man, this guy, huh?
This guy. We need Paulie to get in here. I need Paulie. From TVline.com, diverse Constantine adaptation in the works at HBO Max from executive producer J.J. Abrams by Andy Swift. Now, this is going back a couple weeks, maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I thought I talked about it, but I don't think we did. With the stuff let's touch on first the stuff with Superman. This was like the first whistle telling us the DCEU is screwed. What do you guys think about the Superman thing? Let's just touch on that real quick, and then we'll dive into Constantine. How about you first, Culture? Okay,
the Superman and Lois thing looks pretty good.
I like it.
The thing that got thrown out on the wall, like it was a giant wet turd that's gonna just streak up the glass in your shower. It's not good, and it's gonna be. I'm not looking forward to that. So,
the DCEU, you're saying?
Yeah, under J.J. Abrams, we are going to have full disconnect. Anything that you loved, anything that you were about to appreciate of the lovely redone Snyder cut and all of the great that was, maybe what the potential could have been for the DC for a lot of the people that are Snyderites, right? But at the same time, I have no hope now because you put J.J. Abrams in charge of important things. And when you put him in charge of important things, he slowly destroys them, although it sounds like he's going to quickly destroy Superman. Now, there is some room. I'm going to be intellectually honest here. I hate to do it, but I will. There is some room with the new 52 to have a black Superman. His name isn't Clark Kent. It's Calvin.
Are you talking about Calvin or?
Yeah, Calvin. Yeah,
I mean,
Calvin.
there are several different ones, though.
Yeah, but I mean, most recently, which is the way I would think that he would lean. Now,
I hope not.
Say again.
I hope not.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they've floated a couple of names out there, Michael B. Jordan and John Boyega to play this character. So we'll see what happens. That would fit with the new 52 story, I think. But this is where we're at. So, and my thoughts on this.
Culture. His name is Calvin Ellis.
That's what it is, Calvin Ellis. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's been a billion of these people. Yeah, don't buy, but no, bit by a deer, no.
Never.
No.
How about you, Retep? How do you feel about J.J. Abrams changing the whole DCEU, but starting with, we're going to talk about Constantine, but most people know about the Superman.
I feel like Ben Affleck in that meme where he's smoking a cigarette right now with this J.J. Abrams shit. I'm just like, oh God, like what? Seriously, this is like, okay, we've had a black Superman. That's fine as long as it's a different character and you're not doing the old flopperoo on Clark Kent for some unknown reason. Another character, you know what? I'm fine with that, but I'm not fine with it in the sense that we've already got Henry Cavill and we've got Tyler Heckler, I believe I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, on Superman and Lois, which is really good. I watched the first issue. Me and Finaldeathstar, Enter the Unfamiliar, did a review of it. Great, super show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too.
I thought it was. I was like, wow. I was surprised.
Yeah, that's the best word.
I honestly don't have any investment in Constantine. I've never seen the movie. I've never read the comics. It was one that, not intentionally, it was just one that I overlooked. But no, with this whole, I mean, they start out with a diverse Constantine. It's like, what?
Okay, Constantine was great. I didn't get a chance to talk about Constantine because you got me fired.
Oh, yeah, you got to bounce too, right? So.
Yeah, and I just want to say this. I liked Keanu Reeves as Constantine, and I think Jayne probably, actually, based on what she said today, she agrees. So she's going to be able to carry on everything that I had to say about it because I freaking loved that film. I know it wasn't for everybody, but if you read the dang comics and you appreciated the film, I don't know what you're going to do. You know,
he is forever my Constantine.
I'm sorry, Jayne. Sorry, Jayne. I just wanted to ask Culture because I know he's not going to be here for very long. Culture, what did you think about the version that they did of Constantine when they did him in the Arrow series?
Oh, terrible.
I like Matt Ryan as Constantine, though. Go ahead.
I hated
it. It was CW writing, so I don't know if it was his fault or not. I'm unfortunately
that's a low bar, Culture. That is a low bar for writing. You know, it is. You can't outact. We said at the end, you can't outact their writing. I don't care who you are.
No,
unless you're Rachel Scarston. She's the only one who has risen above that
Alice
writing.
Is the only person in the CW universe that has outacted the writing. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I'm gonna look. I live to be disappointed by anything JJ does. So, I walk in there with a very low bar of expectation, right? Yeah. So if he can just jump 4 inches, if he can get the whole 4 inches of his whiteness can make happen, then, racist. But if he can get all 4 inches off the ground, then he will clear the bar for the first time in a very long time.
Well, like I said, man, the whole J.J. Abrams versus Rian Johnson, the whole sequel trilogy was nothing but a dick measuring contest. That's why it didn't take so long. I mean, look at those two.
Quite honestly, a Culture giving him 4 inches, I think, is being very generous.
That's why JJ virtue signals so much. He's just overcompensating for everything else. Maybe if they think I'm a good person. Don't
forget his after the whole Me Too thing, his wife moved up in the company. Let's not forget that. I
wonder why.
All right. Well, with that being said, I love all of you. Jayne, love you too, carry the torch for my Constantine, please. I'm counting on you. And other than that, guys, I loved you all.
Hey,
great support.
See you,
the
brother.
hell out of this, man.
Thank you, brother.
You all.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
You
man.
tell Mary, I will sing. I will sing.
Ooh. All
Tell
right.
her, Mary
Snap.
Oakley.
You know. Okay, baby.
Snap.
Later, buddy. Sympathicious. All right. So let's do this $5 super chat and then we'll ask Machini because I know he has some feelings on Superman. Storyman Jack for $5. Storyman Jack is a great man. Superman and Lois was a show that made me remember Chris Reeves. Yeah. You know what? That is a really good way of putting it. It had like moments where I felt, Snyder's Superman, but mostly it brought me back to the way Superman should be. And I actually loved his Clark Kent, which I thought I wasn't going to like. And that's really what the show's about, Yep. So I got to give it. Now, I see this right here. Hold on. So Matt Ryan is my Constantine. I agree. Matt Ryan did the voice in some of like the DC Dark cartoons. Like he is a great Constantine. The problem is he was a CW, like you guys are saying. This dude is what Constantine should be. Keanu Reeves was like a surfer Constantine. He's like, oh my God, let me put my arms together. Like I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but this is what I always imagined Constantine to be, like just a drunk, guy with some type of, I'm going to screw it up, but English accent, Scottish, Irish.
He was a very brooding character is what he was in the comics.
Yes. And this guy played it well if you watch some of the cartoons. But again, he had to be in the cartoons to really like show his worth. I don't know. Let me read this article a little bit. But first, Machini, what do you feel about Superman?
The whole JJ taking over.
But yeah, let's go with Superman first.
Okay.
Yes.
JJ's going to be, he's just going to ruin it. He's just going to ruin it. I'm sorry. He didn't do great with Star Trek. He didn't do great with Star Wars, and he's not going to do great here. It's just plain simple. But I want to, can I read a quote?
Go right ahead, buddy.
A little quick one. Okay. Let me put this way. Coates, and this is from Fox News. So yeah, I don't care. It's already out there. People already said it. It's already known. Fact. Coates' reputation as a diverse writer stems mostly from his writings on race. They were not human to me, Coates wrote in his book, Between the World and Me, about the emergency responders who rushed into the World Trade Center on 9/11. Black, white, whatever. They were menaces of nature. They were the fire, the comet, and the storm, which could, no justification, shatter my body.
What?
So, wait, hold on. No, this is the writer for Superman.
Yep.
This is the writer for Captain America.
Oh, I know.
And Black
the current
Panther.
Captain America in the comics books. This is the writer for Black Panther. He is a writer on the Atlantic. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a race-baiting piece of shit who called 9/11 first responders subhuman.
Yep.
And for what I can read, he was actually happy about the towers falling down. So no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Mhm.
I'm with you, man.
Machini, why don't you tell us how you really feel?
Yeah, right? Come on. Let it out. Let out your anger.
Let the hate flow through you, Machini.
I'm supposed to be behind this?
Right.
Is this what you expected me to be behind this whole thing? No, fuck you.
Yep, I'm with you, man. The guy's a piece of
With
crap.
this race baiting hustler, this person writing. Wait, okay. Let me give you a little interesting on what he did with Captain America, because he basically drove it into the ground. He made Cap basically have white guilt, announce his white privilege, and basically be sidelined for basically every other character in his own book.
Mm.
And you expect me to think that he's going to do this? He won't do the same for this Superman, or should I say, whoever is going to be a black Superman? Because I think it's clear that they don't want Henry Cavill to come back.
Yeah.
So no, screw you.
No, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. But the sad thing is that like everybody's focused on Superman. Let's get to the article, because it's not just Superman. He's going to change the whole DCEU. You know why? Because JJ thinks he knows best. Not the people who created these characters, but JJ. So let's read on. One of DC Comics' most devilish detectives is being reimagined for HBO Max. J.J. Abrams' Bad Reboot production company is developing a new series centered around the character of John Constantine. Okay, I'm excited about that. Not. Our sister site Deadline reports. In addition to being portrayed as a young Londoner, this new version of the occult-centric sleuth is reportedly being cast with diversity in mind. Constantine joins a growing list of DC projects on HBO Max, in addition to new seasons of Titans and Doom Patrol, both of which migrated over from DC Universe. The streamer is also developing Peacemaker and a Suicide Squad spinoff starring John Cena, a Green Lantern series, and an untitled drama about the Gotham City Police Department, which will connect to Robert Pattinson's The Batman. I thought that was, wasn't that called Gotham? Wasn't that already called Gotham?
Yep.
I mean, is that further inclusion that you don't want to see Robert Pattinson's Batman, especially with the rumors of him basically getting on with what's her name, Zoe Kravitz, and basically her getting pregnant? Which is that definite? I know it's a rumor. It was a saw Midnight's Edge's video earlier, but there's a rumor. But I'm just like, why? It's like that's more reasons why I should be supporting Matt Reeves' Batman. Right. I'm sorry, Pattinson. No, I'm not sold.
Yeah, well, you know what it sounds like to me, Scott. I mean, it does sound like they're doing like they always do with all these different franchises. They take something that was already established and they throw it out the window so they can go ahead and they come up with this. Oh, well, we need a diversity quota, and that's what it's all about to them. It's not about the story writing. It's not about the characters. It's not about bringing in or bringing back in the audience that made these franchises popular to begin with. It's all about what boxes they're going to be able to check off. And they have to get rid of Gotham, and they got to sideline that and push it in the background because it didn't reach the diversity quota enough for them. So,
unbelievable.
I mean, that show had a lot of problems, and they did hit a lot of the diversity things, like, making Penguin gay and everything like that. Yeah, he was never gay in the comics, but I could overlook some of that dumb shit because the story itself was halfway decent. A lot of the characters they introduced in that series were pretty close to the comic books. Not spot on, but a lot of them were. The Joker was good. Scarecrow was good. Yep. Even initially when they did Grundy, it wasn't horrible, but then they threw it right into the toilet later on. But they had a lot of characters into the Riddler. The Riddler was fantastic in that show.
Yeah, that dude was good. I like how long it took them to create him, too. That was a slow grind. I haven't finished that show yet, but I'm going to have to. Now, Jayne, if you're there, what is your take on this DC? Like, almost like they're starting their own streaming TV series. What do you think is going to be with that?
Well, the problem that I have, first of all, I have a problem with JJ being a part of it. So, I mean, first and foremost, that's the biggest issue I have with it. Secondly, if you're going to have a Black Superman, I don't think they should go with the more political one, which was Calvin. Mm-hmm. I think they would go with Val-Zod or, one of the others. But if you're going to do that, you would think if they really cared about having a quality story, they would pick a writer who actually has experience with that character. Mm-hmm. And Coates does not, definitively. You would think they would pick someone who actually is a fan of the character, who isn't trying to hate on him or change him or degrade him or do those things to the original Superman.
Right.
But that's not the direction they want to go in. And I think they're setting it up for failure, which is typically what they do when they create these characters or when they decide to promote them to make money off of them. It's not like they really are invested in giving us a quote-unquote Black Superman. They want to get their woke points, but at the same time, they're sabotaging it. And when it fails, they're going to blame it on race or racism.
Right.
Well, Jayne, Jayne, if they were smart at all, and you were saying that they brought in people that actually cared about the franchise and the characters, shouldn't they have brought in the writers that originally wrote some of these characters to begin with?
Well, that would make too much sense.
That would make too much sense. But anyone but Bendis. That's not, especially with Bendis's recent run on Superman. Any other writer would be better.
Yeah. So, Michail,
invest in just they won't invest in these characters. That's what makes me so sick about it.
Right.
Every time I see it, they're not giving the appropriate time, attention, and planning to it. They're not investing the appropriate amount of funds to make it work. And who knows who the casting? I would hate for it to be Michael B. Jordan because he's actually been doing really well as a director.
Right.
If anything, let him direct it.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
Haven't you seen him talk about that with Oprah, where he would be honored, but the truth is he would rather create something new? I thought that was one of the coolest. If we could find that little video, we could play that because I think that was one of the coolest responses to what is going on with this, taking a known IP and then just gender or race swapping it for dollar signs.
Real quick, too. Yeah. I've said before, I don't have a problem with these parallel characters because that's always been a thing. That's not new. But you have to do it right. You have to go about it the right way, or it's just going to be a slap in the face to fans. It's just like with Nubia. She started out as the sister to Diana, right? Right. I think they introduced her well. They gave her her own story, her own backstory, and it worked. You know, she was a really good character. Now they retconned her and did some stuff that just made no sense later, but she started out really well. They did it right. I just don't feel with the team that they're building that they're going to do that with this Superman. And as far as Constantine is concerned, are people forgetting that Keanu is part Asian?
Right.
Or does that not count?
Doesn't count.
Oh, hey, Scott, I posted that there that little video. I got it off.
It's in a private chat. I just put it there.
I got it up too. We'll play that after this article because I think it's important to see that. But yeah, you're absolutely, because Jayne, he looks too white and he's too famous. So no one wants to ask. It's like if you don't look a certain way and scream what they want.
That's he hasn't. Funny. He's always been proud of his heritage.
Yes, and it's really actually impressive. Let's read a little bit more of this article and then maybe jump to that video because I think it's important to check out. So, of course, this is hardly Constantine's first time on the small screen. Welsh actor Matt Ryan, who's awesome, currently portrays the character on the CW's Legends of Tomorrow, a role he carried over from NBC's short-lived Constantine, wasn't given a chance. On the big screen, Keanu Reeves played the title role in 2005. So, oh my God, Constantine, whose cast also included Rachel Weisz, Shia LaBeouf, and Tilda Swinton. Yeah, he's probably fighting someone right now. Right? Your thoughts on HBO Max more diverse take on Constantine? Any dream casting suggestions? So why don't we go down the panel with we'll start with Makini because I know you always have ideas. Who would be your new? I would still stick with Matt Ryan, but I'll think of somebody different. Who would be your dream cast for this role?
I'm not familiar too much with the character, but I can't think of anybody else other than Matt Ryan because for the episodes that he was in not only Legends of Tomorrow, but when he came back in, when he made a return in Arrow, he was great. Because I know that there was because that show on NBC was so short lived, and there was so much fan support. People were asking for Matt Ryan to bring him over into the CW Arrowverse, and for the times that I saw him in his premiere episode in Arrow. And then in the first seasons of Legend of Tomorrow, I can't think of anybody else who would be able to knock it out perfectly, other than maybe I would say maybe one of the doctors,
right? Maybe
one of the recent doctors.
I kind of partly agree with you there. I think he was really good when they first introduced him in Arrow, but as it kind of like went on into the Legends of the Tomorrow, I thought that the character really started to suffer and it really just started sliding downhill. I mean, quite honestly, that whole Legends of Tomorrow, it started off good and everything about that show just went right into the toilet. I couldn't even watch it anymore. I think it was by the third season, it just went so horrible that I gave up on it.
It was terrible.
what about this right here? I love comics chat. Okay, everybody. Great YouTuber. Danny's an awesome dude.
Hail Danny.
And Danny wants this question answered. There is a version of Black Superman in the comics. Jayne just went over that. What is the problem? I don't understand. Please, please, please enlighten me. So what is the problem? Could someone put that out there?
I don't think it's a problem with Black Superman because it's Superman. He's alien. He's supposed to be Kryptonian. I think from where my problem is that it's the intention behind it.
There you go.
It's the intention behind it. It's where I stem from is that it's not you're legitimately wanting to create, having put in, a Black Superman, especially one from Earth 2 or something like that, based the story around him. No, you're doing it because of, virtue signal, woke points, or for your agenda. There's nothing legitimate about it.
And for me, it's how they're going about it, which is how they always go about it, half-assed.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that's the biggest problem with what I have with it too, is that I don't care if Superman's black, Asian, white. It's just, what is the intent behind it? Is it changing him for the sake of changing him? Are they going to make Kal-El, a black Superman, or will they go with one of the comic book editions? My problem is will they give it the honor it deserves, or will it just be a take on Superman that's just, here's Black Superman because he's black, and give us nothing behind it.
Or in the case of Nubia, which I don't know if Jayne is familiar with the recent comic that came out, which has been.
Can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Beekeeping, they had a Black Superman decades ago. Mm-hmm. It didn't just. Mm-hmm. There was one in particular that came out that they think was inspired by Obama, but there were others before him.
Yep.
Steel.
I think back late 80s, early 90s.
That's what everybody's failing to understand. It's not the characters that were already established that everybody has a problem with. It's the way that these people are trying to write them in, and they're trying to shoehorn them in a way where they're actually going to change all the other characters around them too. Mm-hmm. They're not. It has nothing to do with the character itself that's already been established, because there are plenty of black characters that have been established in the Superman franchise. I mean, one of the early characters at the time that was carrying the Superman mantle, so to speak, was Steel.
Yeah,
and that character got his own run in comics for a long time.
I forgot about Steel. Oh my god,
his character was never really paid a lot of respect. I think they even did a really shitty movie with him. They didn't do justice. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't see. Etep, what did you want to say?
No, I was just gonna say, like, with the way they announced this, and it almost belittles the fact that they're considering making like a Black Superman character, because it seems like a troll job. It's almost like the way they were like, here comes the new Warriors, with fucking Safe Space and fucking Be Negative and Internet Gas Boy screen time there. That's what it is, because JJ's history with this kind of stuff. And it's like, it just seems like it's almost like you said, it's like a troll job. It's like they're doing it, they're announcing it, and like they're sitting there going, "Yay, look at us, we're so good. Look at what we did."
And they haven't even started on it. It's like, why are you announcing it now? Why not put together a fantastic product and then introduce it with a teaser trailer?
Yeah. I saw that one of the Black Panther books for what's his name? Coates, the last name.
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi Coates. Yep. I was in the store today and I was like, oh, look, there it is. And I shot a little video of it, which I'm going to turn to a GIF later, but that's another story altogether. But yeah, I was like, oh, look, I was like, here's something to prop up the leg of a table with this book,
And to add on to kind of what you guys were saying is that with how they, with what Jayne was saying was the intention is that we know for a fact that if they do go forward with the Black Superman, they're going to hit every single trope that Jayne has brought up in OrdsBored, where it's just going to be about race. It's going to be about hating cops.
Poverty.
It's going to be about it's going to be all that
drug addiction.
It's going to be about BLM and such.
You'll have a probation officer.
Exactly.
Oh God!
It's basically
Superman on probation.
Yeah, it's
hey man, can Superman just get a little government cheese here, please?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense, because it's like it's like, oh, he'll be going after cops, and it's like only cops because they're attacking black people. Same way like Batwoman.
Yep.
tap, wink, wink.
Superman will be picking Ryan Wilder up and they'll go to see their PO together.
Right. And I love memes of destruction. I love his channel. Smart dude. Always likes to throw it back at us. Do we have good intentions? I don't have control over $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
You know, my intentions are to keep it pure. If I want to change the character's race or gender, I'll do it, but do it for the sake of what's going on in my story, not because that's what's going on in society today. And I want to hit that button and make sure everybody knows that I'm waving my flag. I think that's the biggest difference, man. I really do.
I really don't understand how people don't actually get insulted. Well, I should say more people don't get insulted by this, because it really is degrading to people when they say, okay, well, we're going to make it because everybody else is saying we should. That's just nonsense.
I think you have a lot of people, because this has been a hot button topic on Black Twitter recently. I think a lot of people are just, on the one hand, they're desperate to see themselves in these characters.
Respect.
But the problem is that they don't understand that it's not genuine.
Right.
And they don't, a lot of them admit, like, we would prefer to have our own characters. We prefer to have new characters.
Yeah.
Right?
But you don't even need
Jayne.
This is all we're gonna get ever. So we'll have to just be happy with it. And the response is no. You don't have to be.
Jayne, I mean, don't you find it more interesting, especially when they created Black characters and when they were actually when they weren't created out of the thought that we have to create a Black character, and they just came naturally. They were a lot more interesting, and they were I would say that they were more well accepted. I mean, I think that's really the way that it needs to be. It has to be something that just comes out naturally, and it doesn't need to be forced. I mean, because there's been such great Black characters that were created in the past, that have stood the test of time, like Black Panther and Luke Cage, and you can go on and on and on. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That, you know, I never understood that whole thing where everybody says that, well, I have to see me in the character, because there was a lot of characters that I like from comic books when I used to read them when I was a kid. And you know what? I didn't look anything like those characters.
Let me rephrase that. What I'm saying is, you have this entire history of entertainment where Black characters were caricatured. So when they say they want better representation, they're talking about a greater range of characters, something that actually is hopeful, is respectable, you know, that sort of thing, as opposed to the stereotypes which you typically saw for years. So that's more so what they're saying. Like, they want to see superheroes, not just drug addicts or gang members. But the other thing too is, I don't think there was ever a time when a Black character was created and people weren't consciously aware that that's what they were doing. Right. I just think that back then there was simply better creativity, period. We got a lot of great characters just generally across the board. And it happened that some of the Black ones were also really good too. And we got some silly characters too. I mean, it's just people were willing to go out on a limb and try things, and throw new ideas out there and see what captured people's imagination, what captured an audience. And these days, they don't want to do that. That's why we're getting all of these reboots. Of everything.
And even Blade is a reboot, and I'm excited to see where that goes. But again, you have one of many Black characters, and you're bringing him back before you give other Black characters a chance. I don't understand that. Real quick, Makini, Small Times is a new member, becoming a Hot Pie level member. You know what I got to do now that I have a new computer? Get like a little quick thing with Hot Pie, and then a little quick thing with like Littlefinger, and then the Red Vite. I'm so excited to have a new computer. Thank you, Small Time. I really appreciate it. This, I can't do it. I want to be like, this is for you, but I'll just cha. All right. Where were you going to go, Makini?
Well, Jayne, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Is the same thing. Also, the issue is the Black characters that we're getting in like, you know, mainstream instant fiction, they're just not well-rounded, well-written characters. I mean, you look at Mikey Spock, for an example, who I think she's just an absolute Mary Sue, though. And it's just like everything is revolved around her. Look at Ryan Wilder, as ETEP can bring that up, because all she does is hit the same tropes. And I think the issue is that we're not getting. We need better characters. We need better written characters. We need characters that, as Jayne said, were more experimental, more played around with ideas, not be afraid of trying new things, even with black characters, even if they hit stereotypes. There's honestly nothing wrong with having stereotypical characters. There really is nothing wrong.
Range of characters. You can have the stereotypical ones too, but it's like I think a lot of them want to see a Superman type character.
Yeah,
that doesn't have that. Who believes in, goodness, and he's the hope for humanity and what everyone on Earth as humans aspire to be, that sort of thing.
Right, and don't forget.
Jayne,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Scott.
No,
Jayne, I mean, growing up in the inner city when I grew up in Trenton, a lot of the black friends that I had, they would get a little bit pissed off with some of the characters that were, I guess you would say, too cream puffed. They were, I guess they were too white for them. And they were like, oh, this ain't how black people are. And they would look more towards it, like the shows you would see, like Keenan Ivory Wayne's and them doing when they were doing, like, I'm going to get you, sucker. They actually, I guess, identified more with those type of characters.
It's not just identified with it. They internalized a lot of the stereotypes that were being perpetuated. That happened.
I would love, and I know at time now, I think they would screw it up, but back then, I would have loved to DC taken a chance with doing a film or implementing Static Shock into the DC universe, just because I think he's one of the most well-written black characters in the DC universe, next to Jon Stewart and many others.
Yeah, Black Lightning.
And
I like Black Lightning.
That's the thing too. Part of what people took issue with when that's all you see is black people portrayed a particular way, and that's just constantly out there. It's not just society that starts to sort of perceive that people as these characters that they see on screen. It's also the people who are being portrayed who can sometimes internalize those ideas and think that there's nothing better. I mean, that's why you saw so many issues around the Cosby Show in A Different World. You had a lot of people who couldn't accept it because they couldn't visualize themselves in a better environment, because they had bought and sold into this idea that they were nothing better, that they couldn't achieve anything better, that they couldn't have a wholesome family, that they couldn't become doctors and lawyers. Like, that's part of the issues with this community.
And you know what's sad, Jayne, real quick? That took 20 years from the mid 60s, before certain, things went into effect. The mid 60s, where the family unit was probably one of the strongest in the black community, to the mid 80s, after everything that the black community went through in the 70s and the 80s, of course, to think that that's something that was, because I remember I had some black friends that were like, oh, that's cornball. That's this, that's that. And it's like, wow, man, like the idea of bettering your life, you can't even accept that that's a good thing, and it's not a corny thing.
Yes.
Being a doctor, and being a lawyer, parents, two black parents married with their kids going to school. Like, I had friends that literally had one way they talked at school, and then when they went home, they talked a different way because they didn't want to get attacked at home for sounding too white.
Yep.
And it just, where did we go wrong in this country that a black kid has to think about how he speaks, and that's a big thing. Yeah. I mean, white kids try to speak inner city, I speak jive, but it's not true. I had friends that literally had to split who they were because they were scared how people would treat them in their own home. Like, there is something wrong, and changing Superman is not going to fix that.
Right.
Agreed.
It's not going to fix it, but it does create some diversity in entertainment. That's not the only thing you see constantly. Now, personally, I think that, that's the responsibility of family to show your children that they can be better than the stereotypes and stuff, and to not expose them to the negativity all the time.
Right.
Because that was my upbringing. I wasn't, if something was a negative stereotype or portrayed black people or people who look like me in a terrible stereotypical light, I didn't see it.
That's respect.
They made sure I never internalized that kind of foolishness. But that's a role parents have to take on. And unfortunately, that gets back to some of the issues and particularly poor communities. I mean, it's a challenge, but I just think that they need to understand that you can demand more from Hollywood. You don't have to accept the second best race swapping and all this crap. You can tell them we're not going to support this. If you want to sell tickets to us or you want us to buy your product, then you better produce some better quality material.
And
that's not asking too much.
Well, I think part of the problem is a lot of those shows are not well received. Like, you're talking even outside of comic books. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, you had like Good Times, you had Sanford and Son, you had What's Happening. I mean, all those shows were really great at the time, but you hardly see any kind of shows like that really anymore. Like 90% of the shows that I see nowadays, you see stuff like Snow, and you see, they have like the Get Down that they had on Netflix. While those shows are not bad, they're going with more of the negative stereotyping.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just kind of add on to what you guys were saying and it's making me think of the recent Batwoman episode that ETEP was watching, and they all brought up that you can't portray LGBT characters as villains or have any flaws. And I think that's the same issue that with, Black characters and such, is that you can't portray them as villains.
Right.
You can't portray them as flawed characters.
Right. So let's make them the number one best character of all Superman.
But they don't even do that. They don't even make them good. Like, even if they have them as a villain, it's not going to be a good one.
No.
It's just they don't. This girl, Batwoman.
They'll make him too sympathetic.
Batwoman. You could have done a lot with her. You could have started with her being a part of the family, right? You could have had her go bad. You could have had her be looking for Kate. I mean, there's so many different things you could have done better, but they chose the worst possible route. And
they just they make her a victim at every turn. Right. It's like she's like it's like stop, Ryan. You're
right.
You're not a victim. Yeah, well, you have to remember Ryan went through this. Ryan went through Ryan this. Ryan. It's like, oh my God. Just stop, please.
Can I say something real quick? I got to say this because I've seen a couple things in the chat. Look, I don't care if Superman is black. I don't care if he's gay. What I do care about is Superman. The minute I heard this kid that was playing for Superman and Lois, I was already attacking him. And I have to eat some crow. I have to eat some crow because I did not realize how well they were going to portray Superman, at least in this first episode. I might be jumping the gun, but real quick, let me just say this. It's not the color, the race, the sex, anything. It's Superman. And it takes a very special portrayal of Superman to be Chris Reeves level, to hold up to what two Jewish men created in the wake of Nazi Germany. These two Jewish men made this ultimate American.
Jerry Simon.
Ultimate American. It wasn't about, and he was an alien. He came from a different world, but came to America, loved America, became an American, and defended those ideas of liberty and freedom. Let's remember what the character is about, not all the aesthetic. What were you going to say, Tep? I'm sorry, I did cut you off.
No, you're fine. Shit, now I can't remember what I was going to say.
Yeah, that was powerful shit I just said. I know.
Yeah, I know. It was profound. It just left me stunned. Damn, hang on. It might pop into my head if not.
All right, no worries. Well, let's watch this video real quick. This was the video we were talking about a second ago. Yeah. So let me get this. Oh, share audio. Not going to pull a boomer moment. All right. Does that look all right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. I heard a rumor. There's been this buzz that you're going to be the next Superman.
Yeah, that was a rumor. I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. I heard a few rumors buzzing around. I think just to be in those conversations, it's flattering. It's very humbling that they would like.
Would you like to be Superman?
It's tough. You know why? Because I hate being a businessman also and like understanding both sides of the situation. And I think there's a huge upside to it, but then there's just being under that microscope scope of just being picked apart and compared to so many different versions of Superman. I would rather do something original.
Really?
There you go.
But yeah,
Chance to be
Exactly. That's why I love him.
your skin.
I've loved Michael B. Jordan ever since Chronicle.
Right.
He's
amazing. He's amazing, dude. He's amazing. I think he would be a great Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But he gives us the answer. Like he breaks it down. And here we go. Let's just hear this part.
I'll be Calvin Ellis. You know, there's another version of Superman that from Earth 23. I'm a comic book guy.
Okay.
You know, so Calvin Ellis is like, you know, Earth 23.
I don't know who you're talking about, but
so
okay.
So
And I just had a little moment where I'm like, am I going to act like I know what he's saying? Or do I just do that little kind of, oh, yeah, Calvin. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's another version of Superman in another dimension that is black already in the comic books that exist. And I think the comic book, you know, purists can accept that more than me being, you know, Clark Kent.
Right.
And
I agree 100% on that.
That's a very different thing. They're very different thing.
But that's coming from a fan's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So a fan understands that. And you don't have a lot of them in Hollywood.
No, and see, and here's the thing, is that's the thing we bring up, is that it's just the problem is just how the character is going to be handled. We universally know that with Michael B. Jordan at the helm, it will be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's just how they handle the character.
Direct it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't care if he was Kal-El. I'm honest. Like what he puts into his movies, he would get the essence of Kal-El. He would get the essence of Clark Kent. I truly believe that. But he's also smart enough and business savvy enough to go, I don't want to be picked apart. I don't want people comparing me to Christopher Reeves, to everybody that came before. Right after this whole dumping of Henry Cavill, which I wouldn't want to be Superman after him anyways, because it's just there's a negative connotation to it right now. But he would play a great Superman. That's just me.
I like his approach to this whole thing, and I wish we saw more of that mentality among Black creators in Hollywood. And I wish we saw more of that attitude in the Black community generally, honestly.
Right. That's absolutely. I don't understand, but I get it.
He would be a great Jon Stewart.
Yep.
I think he'd be a really good Jon Stewart. Between him and Michael J. White, but yeah.
Why have they not done that yet with the Green Lantern? Why? What are we waiting for? Like, why can we, like, I mean, the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, I mean, why?
Right after that.
I fucking, hang on a second.
Yeah, take a breath, drink, smoke, whatever you,
I think what's absolutely hysterical with some of these people and then what the way they go about trying to run these franchises into the ground is just really is terrible. But he actually gets it, and he kind of like respects everything that was there, because he's mentioned a comic book character that was already established.
Yeah,
right. The funny thing that I'm actually seeing, and I don't understand why Hollywood doesn't get it, because I'm starting to see some of these toy companies. You know, obviously I go back to what, is my favorite thing in the world, is like freaking going out and looking at these damn toys, these collectible items. And I'm watching a lot of these companies right now. They're coming out with all these retro lines. Like they had He-Man, the G.I. Joe. Yep. They recently came out with the real Ghostbusters, like the one from the late 80s. And they were done almost exactly like the original toys. And they paid so much respect and attention to what they had in those original toys when they did the retro, that they are sold the fuck out.
Right.
People are buying them. That's what people want to see. They want to see stuff that's respect is being paid, and they're going to give you their money hand over fist. I just don't understand why Hollywood, these flaming retarded freaking actors, I don't understand why they don't get it.
Because they know better than you.
It's not a hard concept.
Well, because they're not interested in what the consumer wants. They're interested in the message that they want to convey, the narrative that they're trying to push. That's it. It's the paying customer, and the entertainment value of the entertainment is secondary to only the narrative. I mean, that's it now. It's not about entertaining anymore.
They can say, we checked off the boxes. Y'all should be happy.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
that's it.
We're not.
No.
that was good. Anybody have anything left on that one, or do we want to get to Zack Snyder talking about Justice League?
Zack Snyder.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, we were going to do the Vanity Fair article. That's the original article, but we're an hour in. I want to do one more after this. So,
Scott, quick question. Did you see the stream earlier on IGN's fandom stream that they had an interview with Zack Snyder?
Oh, yeah. I think Fat
Fatal was covering it.
Yeah.
Steven, yeah.
Well, finally, the true history of Zack Snyder's Justice League is revealed. An article in Vanity Fair reveals a ton of bombshells, including a surprise cameo. Right there, we got, look at Lois and Clark, or Superman and Clark, or whatever. That'll be the next show, Superman and Clark lovers.
Superman and Clark.
Should we start calling you Sporking News Biden or something?
Sporking News Biden. Why you say that? All right, let's do this.
Did he sniff the vice president and then pass out?
I mean, look, I'm talking about vegetables here, people, and dogs and needles. All right, let's do it. The Snyder Cut version of Justice League is coming to HBO Max on March 18th, ending years of questions, mysteries, and controversies. And over at Vanity Fair, Anthony Brzezinkin has an amazing story about Zack Snyder and the making of Justice League that finally answers some of those questions. There are so many bombshells in the story that I hardly know where to begin. But first and foremost, it finally centers the true human tragedy of the tale. The death by suicide of Snyder's 20-year-old daughter, Autumn, which came in the middle of production. It was this event which understandably left Snyder and his wife, producer Deborah Snyder, without the spirit to battle with the studio over the final form of the film, which just hearing that breaks my ever-loving heart that they were battling this man after his daughter died. But we'll read a little more. I can't. Brzezinkin's, whatever his name is, story makes clear that very real pain that the Snyder family continued to feel over Autumn's death. And there are many heartbreaking details. For example, the Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah was her favorite song, says Snyder. One of the reasons why it returned in Justice League, because he first did that in Watchmen. And it was pretty awesome in that too. Back in March of 2017, a news story suggests that Snyder had handpicked Joss Whedon to finish the film after quitting to spend more time with his family. Today's story reveals that this is not factual, as many have guessed over the years. That's a huge bombshell because we all were told. I think there was only a couple reporting that was not real, that he actually picked him. There was only a few that said he didn't pick him. I don't know. What do you guys think about what I've already read? Because then we'll get into a couple clips.
You know what? Hearing this, and this has just come from just, hearing everything that's been going on the past couple of weeks is like, I am fully behind Snyder now. I support I'm looking forward to this.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing this come together. And I'm happy for everybody who made the big supports for him to make this happen. And yeah, I support Snyder more than ever now. I never thought I'd be in a position to say I really support Zack Snyder, but I really do.
I'm with you. I will support anything that guy makes after the way he respected and he didn't take for granted what the fans did to get him back. Because he admits in this article he made no money, no extra money off of this. This was him given money to do it, but he didn't make any money off of this.
And especially after how Warner basically screwed him over.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody else before we read on?
I was just gonna say I was actually watching Man of Steel today, and he gets the character. It's just I'm excited for the whole thing, man. We were talking about Superman. It just kind of hits now. It's like, so we're not going to get any more Henry Cavill as Superman outside of the Justice League. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
And if you want to have, with the multiverse thing, because they're going to do that now, they're making a point of saying that Andy Muschietti's movie is not Flashpoint. It's a Flash movie, but there's going to be aspects of the multiverse in it, which is like their mulligan card,
Yep.
So, I mean, if you want to have two Superman, if you want to have your black Superman, you want to have your main, or I don't.
This is the time, right?
Yeah, do it now. Have both of them.
Right.
Introduce one that way. That way, it'll be easier. Okay, look, here it is, right here. This is how we're doing it. Or like I said, make a new fucking character and just. I mean, it's fans will appreciate that more.
Even if you make a new character that comes along with them.
Yeah,
that comes along with Superman, that comes along with Wonder Woman. That right there, you're building in a fandom already, and introducing a character that maybe a couple films down gets his own film. You got to do it the right way.
You have to develop him first, make him make him a side character, build him up along the way. They're getting their own main story arcs, and then boom, here you go. There's your solo movie. It's got to be a slow burn if it's going to work right.
Yep, absolutely. Let's read a little bit more. It also makes clear that even without Snyder's personal tragedy, Warner Brothers was already in panic over the film. You'll need to read the whole story, but here are key sections. Again, it's Vanity Fair. This is comicsbeat.com it's chopping it up, but the article, we'll link it in the chat. It's a really long, awesome article. But here we go. Soon it became clear that Warner Brothers was giving Whedon more and more power. He would not just advise during reshoots, but also do some directing himself. Snyder says he only had one conversation with Whedon about the studio's notes, reeling from Autumn's death and finding anguish in their work rather than relief. Zach and Deborah quit. We just lost the will to fight that fight in a lot of ways, said Zach. All of us, the whole family, were just so broken by losing Autumn that having those conversations in the middle of it really became, I was like, really, frankly, I think we did the right thing, because I think it would have been either incredibly belligerent or we just rolled over. Whedon rewrote and reshot about 3/4 of Justice League from what Snyder can gather. When fans asked him about details of the movie that bears his name, he usually has no idea what they are talking about. Worst of all, for Warner Brothers, Whedon didn't exactly save the movie. When we got to see what Josh actually did, it was stupefying, says a studio exec who requested anonymity. Oh man, I can't speak tonight. The robber on the rooftop, so goofy and awful. The Russian family, so useless and pointless. Everyone knew it. It was so awkward because nobody wanted to admit what a piece of shit it was. Damn!
It was bad.
It was so bad.
It's a guilty pleasure, but Whedon's cut is incredibly flawed.
My mother-in-law got it for my son for Christmas, so I own a copy of it. It's literally right on the shelf when I shoot my videos in the living room in front of my DVD racks. Justice League is right. It's in the DC section right there by Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and there's Justice League. And I was like, yeah, this is the bad one. This is the bad one. Nana Bush is the bad one, son.
And we were I was talking about this on Fast Steven channel with runners that we're hoping that the Snyder Cut does get a Blu-ray or 4K release, because I would love to have this in my collection.
I want to own that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Jayne?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that this is basically we're finally leading the full story as to what happened. But the Whedon cut, it's there. I don't know what you can do with it. I thought it was disjointed. I've said that probably 1,000 times. It never made sense just watching it. You could tell something was missing.
Right.
You can tell there were different visions there. And I'm just finally happy that we're going to get to see a cohesive story.
Right. Same here.
With what the creator had in mind. That's what I think is important. That's what we should always get. And I don't know when they're going to learn that you can't just mix and match and just throw things together. If there's a story to be told, you have to tell it the way it's intended,
right? Or
it's just not going to work,
right? And you know what killed me? Because like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, this isn't that. Like usually I'll watch something and be like, that wasn't bad, and then like it sets in, and I'm like, holy shit, they did this, they did that, but. I watched that and like through the whole movie, I'm like, is the mother box alive?
Right.
or is it just boxes? Because he's talking to it as if it's his mother, and you come to find out later on, I've heard, I don't know if it's been verified, that like it's supposed to be the soul of his mother broken up, and like, you know, like there were so many things people were saying, but no one explained it in the movie, and I was so freaking lost, man. I was so lost. I could not get over that. I don't know. I'm excited for the Snyder Cut. Like I was not released a Snyder Cut person. I didn't ride the wave with them, but the more I watched that happen and the way Zack Snyder responded once he got the okay to do this, my hat's off to the fandom, like people like Fatal J and Lethal Lightning, Ryan, all those guys who fought for this, Abu Nas, and then the way you saw finally a creative like literally see that this was something special and brought us along with him for the journey. It's touching. I will support this guy in any way I can.
He's so responsive to fans too. That's what's so awesome about it. You can tell this is his project that he truly loves and is invested in, but he truly appreciates the fan support as well. And he understands, who this is for.
Right.
And it seems like so many of these people in Hollywood just don't get it. They take fans for granted, or they see us as the enemy. And it's refreshing to have somebody care. Oh my God.
For once, it seems like, right? For once. I mean, I don't know. They just released another trailer. I'm trying to find, it's like the Mother Box trailer. It was pretty interesting. Mother Box. I'm going to try to get that up while you guys are here. Here we go. All right. Let's find this. I can't believe I could do this. This is so much fun. I know, right? It's so much fun.
It feels new. It feels like something completely new.
I don't even know who I am right now. Okay. I don't know who I am. All right. Let's share.
Like I can play video now.
I could do whatever I want.
I have gifts now. I have gifts.
I could be like Coach Casino now. I could be like.
Just wait, guys. It's gonna get fun. Oh, the production's gonna get fun, people. All right. So this is the newest trailer they just released. I want to say yesterday.
He dropped, I think if it's the same trailer, he dropped it on the stream today.
Oh, the FanFest one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the FanFest one. Yeah.
It feels like yesterday, but you're right. I was watching those guys review it. Okay, here we go. I mean, his musical choices rule. A helmet. I didn't see that before.
Wow.
I don't even know who that singer is. I know I'm going to get nailed for this though, but we'll stop it there. Look at that. Just look at like he's showing. Wow. It's so dope. He's showing origins through the Mother Box. Like
that's crazy.
That's dope.
The detail.
Right.
Yeah, I love how it's not all in I love how it's not in motion. It's very all stills. I love that.
Right. And it has that like black and white aesthetic that gives it like just that. I don't know, like almost like it's history that's been chiseled in and it's solid and it can't be changed. I don't know. It's just a really interesting take on a quick trailer.
Hey, Scott, did you purposely turn the sound off?
No, I shared audio. That's weird. Was it playing just a second ago?
I'm
not hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
I didn't hear it. I'm not hearing it.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't play it then because that's good. Okay, let's not play it because there is music there. They're gonna nail me, but I probably forgot.
Warner Brothers claims everything.
Let's go back to
that. Play it.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And someone mentioned that it's the pearls of his mother.
Right. Look at all the pearls that are tying him up. With the bat symbol in the background. If you look above left of the bat symbol, there's a gun. I mean, it's like his whole origin is in this one picture, which is unbelievable. Oh, you know what? I want to try to stop it with the lightning crashes on him.
Look at you, Scott.
You like that? Look at that. Look at that, people. Look at that. Look, you can see just more things. I'm just excited to be able to show you all more things. All right, let's go on.
I am Scott, and these are my things.
I know. I like to show him. I just want to. I don't even feel like I got a vasectomy the other day.
Videos.
Well, Scott, if you're showing more things, don't show that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Don't show that.
You want to see my war wound? Here's a vasectomy scar, kid.
Let me just pull it out for you.
He wears it like a badge of honor.
This is from the Great Vasectomy War of 2021.
Never go.
Steven.
You went full retard, man.
They took these nuts.
These nuts. Look at that, man.
That's freaking amazing.
I love how the water.
Reflection.
I like how the water's reflected off of that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh my god, that looks good.
Yeah, the visuals are.
Yeah. Oh
It
God, Jayne.
reminds
Hold yourself.
me of
Yep. Compose yourself, Jayne.
It reminds me of an intro to game Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where everything is done in just stills. It's just the camera zooms around the whole time, and it's looking like that.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Yeah, there's no audio, guys, because I do not want. Well, first of all, I forgot it. I'm not going to lie. Second, I don't want to get nailed because there is a song that's playing, and you know how Warner Brothers and some of these other ones are. Look at that.
Wow.
That is just. Look at that. Like the godlike sacrifice. Like it's just.
Man.
It's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, just knowing it's coming out in like a month, less than a month, a couple weeks, and they took the time to just make this look amazing. I didn't even realize they had all the World War I stuff with Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like they don't bring up because Zach even brought up that he made this way before 1984 was even in development. So a lot of the other later films were in development. So this has already been made. So
so that could pretty much tell you exactly why Wonder Woman 84 turned out the way it did.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you let Patty Jenkins write and direct the whole thing herself.
Yeah,
it is. She didn't write it.
She didn't write it,
or she didn't write that.
No, not this new one.
I thought she wrote 19.
No, they let you believe that because a man wrote it.
She directed it, didn't she?
She directed it, and she has a writing credit. But look at it. Look it up. Someone check IMDb to make sure I'm not lying because I might be. I'm pretty sure a man wrote it. A man with his man penis.
So it's toxic masculinity that ruined Wonder Woman 1984. Son of a bitch!
Boom! How dope is that?
Wow.
Say
That's awesome.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I mean, look at it. March 18th. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. That was so much fun that I could do that. I love this.
Scott,
who did we lose?
It's directed by Patty Jenkins, written by Patty Jenkins, story by Jeff Johns.
Right there. They're saying it's written by her, but Jeff Johns.
Screenplay by Jeff Johns and David Callahan. David Callahan. Story by Patty Jenkins and little big Tom Callahan's son.
Right. Game of Thrones intro vibe. Yeah, man. I didn't even think about that. It does have like that feel to it with like going from place to place being very choppy and like not symmetrical, boxy in a way. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm not smart.
Yeah.
So did they actually have 3 writers on that?
Yes.
Patty Jenkins, Jeff Johns,
she's considered
and Dave
writer,
Callahan.
though. That's the thing that pisses me. She's considered the writer. The other guys did like the screenplay for it. But they did more than that. That's what I've heard.
But the screenplay is the actual writing of it.
Yes. She must have just, changed a couple things here and there. But sources have told me they did a lot more than what they're given rights for. They should be also considered co-writers of the movie. It's a bigger cut.
So it may come from her going around taking credit because that's what she was doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, finally, I got to do what I wanted.
Yep. And they don't think about it. It was a woman director. They wanted a woman to write it. Like they didn't want it. Wonder Woman, lead is a woman, directed by a woman, and let's just say it was written by a woman. You know, like they didn't want to give a man any co-writing on this because they wanted the trifecta, which is the dumbest
Can we be sure that this Jeff John is really a man, though?
Yeah.
Could it be like a? Could it be like a?
I've heard of
Ryan.
him. I've heard of him.
Ask
Johnson.
Ask EVS. EVS knows him.
Right. And I like what Robert has to say. Will Darkseid get assassinated by Arya Stark? I don't know. That's scary. Is there anything left in this article? Actually, there's a bunch of like quick things. So let me just share this real quick, guys. Speak among yourselves. Okay, don't speak. All right, there we go. Snyder has never seen the Whedon cut. His wife, along with producer and friend Christopher Nolan, both advised him never to see it. And the film, as it will be released on HBO Max, is a tribute to Autumn. Without her, this absolutely would not have happened, he told Vanity Fair.
That's sweet.
That's beautiful. But to think that Christopher Nolan told him, dude, do not watch that.
Now, this is a lot.
Right. Let me ask a question. Is it because Whedon has had he's a piece of shit. But because we all know he's a piece of shit now, do you think that's why Snyder's speaking so freely? Let's say he didn't get Me Too'd yet or anything. Would Snyder be saying all this stuff about Whedon?
Probably, because Whedon looks like the piece of foreskin that got thrown away after the bris. I mean, look at that piece of shit. I mean, he's just walking. He's garbage. Like, if you didn't think he was creepy before just because he was a good artist, I mean, I'm sorry for you. You probably have a bad judge of character. Because I always looked at James Gunn like, there's just something off about this guy. You know, like, I know they hired him back and, Guardians of the Galaxy is funny, but that doesn't mean that I don't think the guy is still creepy. You know what I mean?
Right,
and with all this shit coming out, like, no, Whedon was always weird. And you could see it like when you saw pictures on set with him and Eliza Dushku. Like I said, at the time that she was doing what is that show? Dollhouse or whatever she was in with him when she was having her tryst with Whedon. And Whedon was claiming to be a male feminist and, all that.
Right.
Eliza Dushku is dating Rick fucking Fox.
Yeah.
All right. She's messing around with Joss Whedon and she's dating Rick Fox. Yep. All right. That's not because she likes Joss Whedon and she thinks he's a catch. Now he was advancing her career, and that's what he did. He used his position to get to these women because he's a swarmy piece of shit and just ugh.
Yep. Anybody else about Josh Whedon, the piece of shit?
Yeah.
Well,
fuck that guy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you have a picture with you and Anita Sarkeesian, I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna trust anything you say.
Right.
I think he would have said something though as soon as he got the date and he knew they couldn't cancel it.
Right. Well, that was another thing I thought too. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you're free to say whatever you want, and he comes across as a type of guy who would. And just imagine someone just destroying your work. Of course you would say something.
It hurts. It hurts me to say that because despite how I feel about Joss Whedon, The Avengers is still one of my favorite superhero films of all time.
I know. Did great.
I still love The Avengers.
I love Buffy. I love Buffy.
Exactly. That's the thing.
I just watched Ultron earlier. Sorry, Jane. I'm sorry, Jane.
Sucked.
No, I'm just gonna say
one of the few who likes Age of
creative.
Ultron, so
I love Ultron.
Genuinely creative, and yet he's a jerk. And it's like, why do you have to be a jerk?
Right.
You're good at what you do.
Yep. Amazing. He was really good at.
Well, you know what? I don't have a big dog in this fight when it actually comes to the Justice League. Quite honestly, I never watched the first one, and I have no dog in the fight to watch the second one. I don't care, but I will say this much though. It says something about the character of Joss Whedon when even people like Kevin Smith loves everybody. And the fact that Kevin Smith even talked up about how Joss Whedon purposely went about destroying what Zack Snyder had started with the Justice League is actually pretty telling. Because who the hell does Kevin Smith really hate on?
He doesn't.
Does he really hate on anybody?
No, he doesn't want anybody hating him. He wants to love everybody. Now, what I find crazy is that he only spoke to him once. Like, what a piece of shit. I can't get over it. The guy is a dirtbag.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that was so small, everybody. Now it's large and in charge. All right.
Is that what your wife told you?
She doesn't say it out loud. She doesn't say it out loud. At least to other people at the grocery store. Anyways, the Snyder Cut existed as a 4-hour black and white cut on Snyder's laptop, one without any VFX and music. He would show it to random people who stopped by, like our friends or whatever. So this answers the mystery about why so many people over the years said they had seen the Snyder Cut. That's huge because people said that, oh, it's not real. Oh my God.
Just a few extra scenes.
Yeah, right. All our friends right now of the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut hashtag, must have just seriously like combusted, like because that is the verifying of what they have been saying for 2 years, 3 years ago.
They were saying it was like a total of like they said like 5 minutes of new footage. It's only it's only like 5 minutes of new footage anyway, and like no, it's actually like a whole new fucking movie. But okay.
Two movies.
But please, 2 movies. But please go off about how it's only 5 minutes of footage. You know
what's funny too? He says he could not. All right, when people asked him, I guess he never saw it, but he must have saw it because he says he doesn't see where his movie was in the Whedon cut version. Now, his movie is a little over 4 hours. That means almost everything that Whedon did, he's not using.
Yes.
He might be using a different shot of it, but it must have been Snyder's. You know what I'm saying? None of it. Snyder has said none of it is of the Whedon cut. Wow.
That's beautiful.
It's wonderful. I love, and you know what? It probably didn't. I wonder if he intended to do that or whether it just became, you know what? Screw him.
Right.
I'm not using any of his trash.
Right. Like there is stuff we have seen before, but that was not Whedon's recast or reshoot. Excuse me. Anything you saw in the previous movie, now for a fact, Snyder was the one who actually filmed that part.
But people are still in denial. Like on Twitter, you still see people saying, well, it's not that much more footage. Dude, do you understand what 4 hours means?
Yeah.
Can you do math?
Yeah.
They've obviously never seen Scarface or one of the Lord of the Rings extended cuts.
Right. Let's say the original, the Whedon cut, let's say a half of it is Zack Snyder's. So there's like 3+ hours worth of footage that we've never seen. That's insane, dude.
It's insane.
I don't know why I keep saying dude so much, but that's how I feel right now. Dude. Come on. Dude. I'm such a 90s tool bag. I'm sorry.
Gotta ride the wave, dude.
Dude, I'm feeling it, bro. I don't know. Let's burn some sage or something.
Let me go put my tracksuit on.
Tracksuit on, man. I'm putting on my Birkenstocks.
Flipper on the bottom, shell up on top.
You know it, brother. You know it. Let's read a little bit more. WB initially wanted to release just this laptop cut of the film, which Snyder firmly said no to for many reasons, including that it would give them an excuse to say it wasn't good to begin with. I was like, no chance. I would rather just have the Snyder Cut be a mythical unicorn for all time.
Damn, that's a boss move.
That dude had, you want to talk about nuts. He said, F you, unless you give me what I need to do to finish this, you're never seeing it.
Ever.
Fucking awesome.
It's so hot.
Isn't it? I mean, really, I'll sleep with him right about now. Then DC film head John Berg and Jeff Johns were brought onto the set as watchdogs, but they didn't bother Snyder much because they weren't that threatening. I just felt the ideas they did have where they were trying to inject humor and stuff like that. It wasn't anything that was too outrageous. Again, he has a darker take on what this is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And go ahead. Yeah,
because Jeff Johns was behind like Aquaman and Shazam and that, that lighter tone, that more Marvel-esque tone, because they're like, oh, well, look at those characters over there. That works for them. So we'll just do that here. And, Snyder's like, no, fam, we got to put a gray filter on this and, make this gritty. And, Superman's like, kind of brooding and but no, it's fine, man. No, I like it. I do. I really, like I said, I think both of them can exist if it's done right. But they have to. You can't have the two sides fighting each other on it. It's got to be a marriage. You know what I mean? Like, it does, and it can work with certain characters. But then you can kind of take a give and take approach in your team up films too. Like I said, it takes talented writing. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain that to people who work in fucking Hollywood, who are paid millions of dollars to write shit. And I'm just a guy here with a $60 a webcam sitting here in an office in front of a green screen making videos. I don't know what to say. Car video. Right there. That's what I'm saying.
Let me say
from Alabama. Roll Tide.
All right. Let me say this. All right. So this guy loses his daughter. The WB comes to him and says, hey, you're going through something tough. We're going to bring in Josh Whedon. He's just going to touch it up, do some reshoots. You'll meet with him. Okay, whatever. Meets with him once. And then it's gone out the door. And what Runner says, 10% is Snyder's. The rest is freaking Josh Whedon. Can you imagine losing your daughter and then losing... And I don't mean this because I have daughters, so I don't mean this in any disrespectful way. But for some of these artists, this is like, it would be like losing a family member. I didn't want to put it that way, but it's like losing a love at least. Like you put your heart and soul in this, and they went and stomped on us and gave us Lip Man and freaking, bloated Batman and just really corny bipolar Flash and Cyborg that wasn't even there, and the beautiful Wonder Woman.
And
sucked.
And Steppenwolf, that was,
oh my god. All right, let's see what else they have. Snyder comes out firmly against I keep hearing an echo. Is someone Snyder comes out firmly against the toxic fandom that sprang up around the release of Snyder Cut movement. I 100% think it's wrong. I don't think that anyone should be calling anyone anything. I've always tried to give people in the fandom attention who do good things. Predictably, Zack Snyder's truthers on Twitter are already complaining about a female film journalist who is quoted about their troll tactics and moaning about toxic bloggers, proving that self-awareness is not one of their top abilities. What do you guys take from that? I don't know how to read that.
Sounds like a hater.
Right?
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't Snyder fans, especially those who've been fighting for this, why wouldn't they have a little bit of swagger and be in your face by I told you so and all this? Why wouldn't they? When people have been trashing them for all this time, telling them, oh, you're crazy, there is no cut. What are you talking about? You're just a fanatic, blah, blah, blah. And now they have what they have been saying existed all this time, what they've been waiting for, what they've been petitioning for, what they've been calling for. And when you have some of these journalists who come out and are dismissive of their passion for this project, you can't turn around and call them toxic. No, you're the one attacking them instead of saying, you know what, this is great. Everybody should be happy.
Right.
Everyone should be
well, you know what, Jayne,
that's what fans will actually listen to.
Jayne, I think there's a fine line, though, in between being able to show how proud you are of what you helped to get accomplished and then crossing that line where you've become the same thing as the people who attacked you. I think that's probably the only thing that probably can be said about a lot of these, because I've seen some of these Snyder fans out there. They're completely rabid. And they're over the top with some of it. And it's completely ridiculous. And here's the problem is once you get a handful of them, that's all anybody ever remembers, because nobody ever remembers what was done right or what was good or how somebody was diplomatic about it. The only thing they ever remember is the people that were acting like lunatics.
Right. You still see people coming out there saying stupid stuff about this cut.
Right.
And the fans jump on them.
Right.
But they have it coming.
Well, they were called toxic for doing a fundraiser for suicide prevention. They were called toxic for doing that and taking advantage of a charity, taking advantage of the charity to try to get their film made. These people raised a lot of money for a good cause, and they did it in a way like, hey, let's get some attention for what we want, but do it in a positive way. And they were called toxic. So there's always going to be haters. And yes, there are some that are very, very defensive, man, because I think they were created that way. You know, like even people that I think are level-headed, before we knew this was getting filmed, if you said something or made, if you said something bad about this, they took offense to it because they've been attacked for years. I don't know. That's just how I see it. And then look at the cast of people that were quoted and not quoted in this article. So you got the former DC head Diana Nelson, production head Greg Silverman, former DC Film co-president Berg, Warner Brothers studio head Toby Emmerich, and actor Ray Cyborg Fisher, who has a lot to say right now about Whedon, but who didn't say shit. Whedon, Johns, and then the former head Kevin, however you say his last name. I mean, that right there.
It's Sujihara.
Sujihara. I always screw that up. Thank you. But that should tell you right there. Right there. Like,
what can they say, though? Really? What can they say? What is we going to come out and say? Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Sorry I screwed you over.
Yeah.
I just want to hear I just want to hear some sniveling out of his just pathetic little mouth. Yep. I'm sorry. He just shrivels and he just looks like a shrunken, like, yeah, you know what I'm,
No, you're right on that.
You know what? They don't even have to go that route. All they have to do is say, you know, for all the fans that they belittled and everything like that, all they really have to do is just come out and say, okay, well, we were wrong. You don't even need to get on your knees and apologize like a little bitch. You don't have to feel like you back down in a corner. Just say, okay, yeah, well, I was wrong. And that could be the end of it. But
no, right.
You get a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people in every single fandom that will not accept that. They want somebody to get down on their knees and like suck their little piggy toes and everything like that. This is really the mentality of some of these people that are on the extremist side, and they're in every damn fandom. And like I said before, unfortunately, those are the people that everybody's going to talk about, and they're going to be the ones that they make the example of. So, I mean, you know, take this win with a little bit of grace is all I'm saying. You got to win. You got to win. There's no need to really beat it into the ground and beat a dead horse. Well, unless it's Kathleen Kennedy, but there's no need to beat a dead horse into the ground any further.
I hope they beat it into the ground all the way to March 18th.
I'm with you on that, man.
Beat it into the ground. I don't care, because how they were treated was insane.
Absolutely.
No.
How dare you?
Say it, Jane. Say, how dare you?
How dare you?
There it is.
The way Zach was treated, like, no, I don't care.
Yep.
Let them have this moment.
Yep.
Say whatever they want to say. It's fine. I think they've earned it.
They have earned it. I'm with you. And Zach has earned whatever he says in any of these articles.
Say whatever he wants.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, let's finish this one up. There's just a couple more paragraphs. In what is already the headline across the internet, Snyder has reshot the ending with a hero cameo that will blow hardcore fans' minds. Emphasis mine. Yeah, right. Twitter has already got Green Lantern trending, and that would indeed be a bit of a mind blower. Human flesh devotee Army Hammer was originally set to be the new Green Lantern, but given the times we live in and WB benching their only major black superhero by firing Ray Fisher, can't it be Jon Stewart? I would love Jon Stewart. Yeah, dude, totally. But note the hardcore fans line. We already know Martian Manhunter will appear, so I'll leave it to DC mythos experts here at the beat to tease that one. This article is definitely highly complimentary to Zack Snyder, and if you had in 2021, Joss Whedon will be an abusive asshole who should never darken our door again, and Zack Snyder is a good guy on your bingo card, you probably worked with either one of them. That was awesome. Nice writing, whoever this is. Who is this? Hold on. I got to give this guy a shout out. Or her, excuse me. What?
You fucking misogynist.
Dare you
misgendered.
Cancel Scott.
That's hashtag cancel Sporking.
Heidi.
Pronouns, Scott, pronouns.
Heidi MacDonald I didn't mean to disrespect Z. Zer is a talented artist, and this Z is sorry. All right, let's finish this before I get cut off. Still, after reading this piece, the story of the Snyder's personal tragedy should remain the top story about the film. Some of the HBO Max proceeds from the film will go to suicide prevention programs. Yeah, that's awesome. It's hard not to see WB using his daughter's death in 2017 as a smokescreen for their replacing him as a director as extremely troubling. Although, to be fair, it also helped Snyder avoid a lot of public controversy at the time he was grieving. But it's also clear that had Autumn not taken her life, the Snyders probably would have fought on, and the movie might have been very different, perhaps even with a different outcome at the box office. We'll never know. Unknown for now as well is what is doubtless a riveting story about WB's own decision and alarms over the movie. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When the story of Warner Brothers stops and starts in their quest for a unified superhero universe is finally told someday in a history book, so many jaws will drop. It'll register on the Richter scale. Yep. Wow. And that was the short article, guys. That was the short article. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I'm looking forward to the Snyder cut. I am. So I must support the Snyder and such. So.
I'm looking forward to it.
Earlier of Cap and Hawkeye against Firebrand, and then one with Spider-Man and Strider, and then you see She-Hulk, Iron Man in this shot. I thought because it reminded me.
Yeah.
That
is really dope, man.
And then I guess trailer,
that is dope. Cool. That is so cool. Wow, we got 32 people in the chat. We've been carrying 30 through the whole thing. This has been awesome, guys. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to everybody on the panel. You got to support content creators because YouTube isn't. There is one more article I did want to go over. You guys got time for it?
Yes, right, cool. Sir.
I don't want to leave. This is so much fun.
You're so happy.
I'm so happy.
I know, right?
It's not cutting out every 10 seconds on him, and he's enjoying it so much he doesn't want to leave.
I mean, dude, I have tabs open. You don't understand.
You remember when you had to leave your stream, your own stream?
You know what? I can see when this finally ends, Scott's going to be sitting in front of his computer, even though the stream's turned off, and he's going to just sit there and just keep smiling and talking to the computer.
I kind of have been. I kind of have been. My wife is like, just like, wow, you're going to sit down there all night. I was like, yes, I am. I got it hooked up yesterday. I just sat here like, oh my daughter said I'm the coolest dad ever because my keyboard glows. I'm like, I am so dope.
Your wife didn't catch you fondling the keyboard or the tower or anything, did she?
She might see this and I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Things happen, bro. Things happen. All right. This isn't about comic books, but or movies, but Hollywood is in California, and California bill requires gender neutral stores fine retailers $1,000 or fining retailers $1,000 for having separate boy and girl toy departments.
Oh, go to hell.
What the fuck?
We had Tommy on, so I wanted to see what Tommy had to say.
This is absolutely ridiculous. And this is one of the things when I can go back in my childhood when you used to go out to like Toys R Us, and even before Toys R Us, when you used to go to Kitty City. And then later on when KB Toy Store started popping up all over the place. I mean, it was one of the ideas that you knew which aisle you were going to go in to get your damn toys that you liked because they were separated. You knew you weren't going to go down the aisle where all the Barbies were and the dollhouses and everything else. You were going to go down the damn aisle with the action figures, or you were going to go down the other aisle where they had all the Nerf guns and everything like that. This is just such a damn stupid concept, because you know what? No matter how much you want to say, oh, well, it's all inclusive and all the toys are together, kids want to go after the toys they want to go at, no matter what you try to drop labels and you want to try to say there's no labels at all. Girls will still want to go look at dolls, and the boys are going to want to go look at action figures and the like. It is never going to change. I mean, okay, yeah, there's a few kids here and there that maybe the girls like the action figures. My daughter is one of them. My daughter loves Transformers. I don't know where she could have got that from, but she likes to go down the damn toy aisles and look at the Transformers too.
Right.
But most girls don't. Most girls want to go look at dolls and stuff like that, or they want to look at My Little Pony and like when I was a kid, Cabbage Patch Kids and all that stuff. That's what they really like. And it's never going to change it. And they're trying to come up with this gender neutral thing. Like kids can't decide what toys they want to look at. Even though the freaking toys were labeled boys and girls, if a boy decided he wanted to go look at dolls, he could easily walk over into the girls section and look at them.
Yeah, you know,
he didn't need it all in one area or not labeled, so he didn't feel bad.
My question is this: do you go like Transformers in not even in one section, but like one Transformer figure, then a Barbie doll, then a Tonka truck, then My Little Pony? Like, is that how they are? We supposed to just throw them all together and be like, figure out the prices? Like you said it perfectly, Tommy. Every aisle.
That seems like what they want to do, though.
Yeah.
That does seem like what they want to do, Scott. And it doesn't make any sense because if you want to look for an action figure, you should go down action figure, and action figures are predominantly a boys' aisle.
Yep. Willie the Monkey King, who has his own channel, said, I'm in California, Sporking News Podcast. When this happens, I'll take pictures. When you do, we'll have you on for that segment. We'll have you on for that segment, man, and you could explain it to us. It's so sad.
The thing is, like, I knew girls who like playing with Hot Wheels as much as I did. So,
I mean, my daughter came home from the dentist and was proud to show me her toothbrush wasn't a princess, but my oldest daughter wasn't a princess. It was Batman. Mm-hmm. So like kids like what they like. She loves she loves Barbies and princesses, but she also likes things that I like because, you know, she wants to be like dad. And what kills me is that she doesn't think when we're going down the Batman aisle that that's only for boys. She does say certain toys are boy toys. And you know what I say? I said, honey, toys are toys. Play with whatever you want. You know, that's
this
the
line
parent.
of thinking, though, Scott.
Parenting.
With this line of thinking, Scott, where does it end? Do we take away the men's and the women's section in the clothing aisles and take away the boys and the girls section in the clothing aisle too? And we just mash gender all the clothes together, so you sit there for about 3 or 4 hours looking through the wrong sizes because the women's are mixed in with the men's or the boys are mixed in with the girls? I mean, is that where we're heading?
Is this where we start to wear the jumpsuits like Space 1999?
Oh God!
Might as well, right?
Genderless
suits.
I'm glad I lost weight.
Well, you know, the only thing I know that's a positive is that Stephen Walton will not have to hide his enjoyment of wearing thongs. So, yeah, he loves that.
Well, you know what? I demand that makeup aisles and everything be taken out too, because makeup aisles are predominantly a woman's aisle, and I just don't feel safe going in there with all those women in that aisle. They need to have that gender fluid, and they need to be open so we can all walk in there comfortably and buy makeup for Scott.
It's interesting you say that because it seems like men are now dominating the beauty industry, which is insane in terms of marketing, which is just to me.
It's insane. It's insane. Like I still don't understand the idea that what do you, all right, let's read a little bit. Cause are you supposed to like not have aisles separated by the toy itself? You know what I mean? Like that's what I was about to say before. Tommy, you made perfect sense. You divide by toys. Certain toys clash with others, so you don't put them together. Yes. Yeah. It's called organization. Now, is organization gender phobic? Jeez, man. What the hell? All right, let's read a little bit and see what they have to say. This is by Emily Zanotti. It's Italian, and I can't even say it because I'm the worst Italian you know. California's assembly is slated to consider a new bill requiring department store children's sections to be largely gender neutral in order to combat prejudice and judgment against gender non-conforming children.
Those 5 children. Yeah.
Yes. All 5 of them. Large retailers that sell toys, clothes, and other children's items in California would have to devote floor space to merchandise marketed to both boys and girls under the new bill, Politico reported earlier this week. Stores would be able to sell the same product they do now as long as they maintain some areas where shoppers can find all toys or clothes, regardless of gender-based marketing under blah, 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 500 or more employees. What? Help me,
So
people.
you have to create a section in your store where you do, in fact, blend all the toys together? Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
Right. That's exactly what they're saying. But they're not going to stop there. If they manage to push this through and they manage to make any store, every store, market one single aisle where it's a mishmash of everything in there, so it looks like a flea market basically in a damn shopping store. So if they're going to do that, eventually they're going to push it where they're going to say they want the entire store like that, where there's no gender specific when you're going shopping. And that's why I go back to not only like the action figures and everything like that, but when you start talking about other things, like you're talking about clothes and everything like that. So you might walk into an aisle and you'll be able to get yourself a 3/4 inch ratchet and get yourself some nice cake makeup right next to it.
Yeah,
right.
And that, that would, like you were saying before, Scott, about organization, like that would drive me so crazy.
Right. I am not the most organized person in the world, but like seeing a mishmash of toys because they want, G.I. Joe's right next to one Barbie, but it's only like one figure, a different figure, like I couldn't do it.
I couldn't take it.
What were you going to say, Makani?
No, I was agreeing with y'all. It's like, no, as somebody who likes to organize, that'd be a nightmare for me. I have a mental breakdown at that point.
Yeah, man. It's so messed up. Ben Shapiro makes sense. Yes, he does. Let's go on. Lowe told Politico that the idea for the bill, which he also introduced last year to little effect, came from one of his staffers who claims her daughter wanted an item in the boys section, but felt slighted because she felt the toy was designated for a male child.
I don't believe you.
I think that is the most bullshit story I've ever heard.
The child would know.
It sounds like something that the parent made up.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Because they don't even have it's not like the sections are named boy section, girl section. If she took the child to the store, she would just go where the toy was. Like there's no reason for the child to have perceived it as
well,
Jayne,
at one time, like back in the day, like the old kiddie cities and everything like that, they did actually kind of have them separated by boys and girls. They actually did have signs like a boy's.
Oh
toy.
yeah, I remember that. But that was
80s.
Yeah, but that went the way of the dodo, like mid 80s.
Yeah, I would say mid 80s.
Yeah. So the child would just went to the aisle where the toy was.
Exactly. So again, they're trying to say that they're trying to break these stereotypes and these stigmas, but yet they're the ones that are putting it on a child, because a child would never go, I can't walk down that aisle, Mom. My daughter wants to see every single toy in the store that they have, every single toy. And it could be a pool toy. We don't have a pool. She wants to see it.
The kids go through every single lane.
Yep.
That's what children do, because they're going to find the toy they want and they don't care what section it's in. So this is nonsense.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old. Trust me, I know. And we were just in the store today, and yep, that's the struggle's real. It's like, hey, can we? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, but Dad's looking for some action figures. And actually, that's a quick plug. I have a toy video I'm working on that I'll probably release later tonight. So
you heard it, people. Make sure you check it out.
From today, I was in the bodega and I found some fun figures on the shelves of the clearance store.
Man, you're running into my area right there, bro.
Right. Real quick.
We should talk about that sometime.
Oh, you guys should. That's your world there, Tommy. That's your world. You guys should work on that. But Storyman Jack for $5 says, you guys are the greatest. He jumped from 236 subs to 240. Congrats. Can we get him 10 more? Very much appreciated. I have to go on more live streams. LMAO. You will, my friend. Guys, if you are not subscribed, please drop the link. Makani, if you can. Guys, if we can get him 10 more subs, there's 30 people in here. I don't think all 30 of you are subscribed to Storyman Jack. Let's get him to 250 today. It's a good feeling when you hit those like 100 or 50 marks. before the 1,000, it's such a good feeling. So please let's
And
help
the
them
live
out.
streams, going on the live streams does help because I
Yep.
remember anytime to this day, anytime Gary mentions my channel, I get like 40 subs minimum.
Yep. And he hasn't mentioned mine in a long time, but he mentioned, I'm just kidding. That's such a joke. Gary mentioned mine back I was the first one they started that shout out thing with.
Mhm.
And, I jumped up like 500 subs. So if I can get somebody,
Fingers crossed.
if I can get somebody 10, man, like that's just pay it forward, guys.
Get me 10. I would like to get back to over 500 after being swiped by YouTube.
Well, let's make sure. And that's another thing, guys. Make sure you're still subscribed.
Yeah, guys, double check, please.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, you know what? Here, I got a funny story for that. So, I mean, everybody always talks about how they're getting unsubscribed. And one of the people that I found out that I was just recently unsubscribed from was Storyman Jack, because I was subscribed to him and I was checking out some of his book readings that he was doing. And all of a sudden, I wasn't getting any notifications for it. I was like, I wonder what happened. And I went and looked on today. And sure enough, I was unsubscribed again. So, it does happen an awful lot.
I same thing, man. I had that happen. It was another channel, and it wasn't like one of the big ones. It was one around like my size, which I'm at 547. I need 3 to hit another little 5. You were speaking of milestones. I'm 3 away from 550. So
let's get them there.
Give me 3. 550. We're almost at 550. No, but yeah, I was going to. I'm looking. I'm like, why am I not? I'm looking for like notifications. I'm like, where's this? And I go back over their channel. It's like it says subscribe. I'm like, what the hell, like. Yeah, because it's one of the ones you have notifications set for, and it's like it's like what
it happens, dude. I was doing a interview that's going to be shown next week with a former someone I love, who hasn't been on Rogue in a while, and she went to shout out my channel in this, which I thought was really nice. And she wasn't subscribed anymore. And she was like, oh, that's awkward. It's like YouTube will take anybody. I've watched Gary for years now. I have had to resubscribe to Gary 5 times. And I make sure I probably watch one of his things every other day. How is that possible then, YouTube? That's the question I have.
Well, Scott, I mean, I've told this story actually quite a few times. And one of the things, I was sitting on somebody's channel because I was a mod for their channel. So I'm sitting on the channel. Mm-hmm. I was still subscribed. I was modding on the channel while I'm watching the show and everything. And in the middle of me modding, they removed my sub from him.
When was that?
I watched it happen, and that was like about a year ago.
I think I remember that. I think you were telling me that or me being there when that happened.
Yeah, I was on it was Sean Stackhouse. I was on his channel modding at the time when it happened.
Isn't that nuts, man? Like, come on.
Nina also mentioned that they keep unsubbing her from John's channel,
which blows my mind. Blows my mind. Like, that's why I know, like, sorry to bother the chat with this, but that's why we tell you guys, we're not trying to be idiots and jerks, but really make sure you're still subscribed because it sucks when you miss like fun times when we all get together. Like I hate it when I miss a stream that there's people I like on it, so please make sure. Let's see. Okay, so Tommy, thank you, buddy. You didn't have to do this. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective for $5. Make sure to smack that like button and show the love for Scott and his fully functional computer. Well, at least something's fully functional. I said it before you could. E. Clay Thomason. I'm sorry, man. 149 super sticker. What is it?
It's a wiener. It's a hot dog.
A wiener. That's my there you go, brother. Thank you. I love also these people like E. Clay, Robert, Curtis D. I found some of these guys found me from Nina, some found me from Jayne or Nerd Cookies, and they now support us, and I really appreciate that. Are you there? Thank you very much. Did he get it? Please make sure you guys subscribe. We're not going to read any more of this because I can't. We're too positive right now, but where do you guys think it'll end? That's such a freaking
I think they've been pushing it so hard, and usually this is what happens, and this is my experience from watching like the rise and the fall of the PMRC in the 80s. So these people get the loudest when they feel like they're on the cusp of losing everything. That's usually when they get the loudest. This is when they push the hardest because they're trying to reinforce their position. Their position is eroding and it's crumbling daily because more people are waking up to the stupidity that these people are presenting in society. And a lot of people have just had enough of it.
Yep.
They are what I like to deem as criminally stupid.
Yeah. It's freaking ridiculous. I didn't even put anything with it. That's ETEP's link. Someone asked for it. I just threw it on there. So make sure you guys check that out. What did I didn't cut the what?
Names.
What do you mean?
The little name bubbles with our names in them. There we go.
Oh yeah, it's only when I have something up like this. So guys, yeah, my bad.
There it is.
Very confused right now, but that's okay.
You still have that new computer afterglow, bro.
I don't know what to do, dude. I haven't come off
good.
camera like barely because I'm just happy that I'm on camera. So
it's all going to be good until the first Microsoft update comes through and it locks you out of your computer.
You son of a bitch. All right, let's close this out. We're gonna start with, you know what? Let's start with Makini. You have anything to say there?
Yeah. Thank you guys, everybody, for stopping by. Congrats to Scott for his new computer, and more to come. I look forward to the Monday stream, the book club stream now.
Thanks, man.
You get to have more to do with it. So, anyway, guys, name is Makini90, one of the artists of Fourth Wave, one of the many mods of Fourth Wave Rogue Entertainment. You can find me on YouTube, where I do time-lapse videos and draw streams every Sunday at 12:30. Speaking of which, I've decided that I will do a draw stream tomorrow. So I was going off and on because I've been working on commissions for this past week, and I've been so busy on that. But yeah, I'll do a draw stream tomorrow. And guys, stay tuned because this week I am going to do a time-lapse video with commentary. I am going to. I was talking with some people behind the scenes, and I do wonder that maybe it's. I wonder if if my own voice, my own personality can draw more people in. So I will try to draw. Yeah.
Nice.
So I will do a time-lapse video with commentary.
Awesome,
so
dude.
We'll see how that works out.
Guys, make sure you're subscribed. There he is.
And thank you to the 3 people who just subbed to me during this stream. So I'm at 455. So I appreciate that.
Wow, man, we're killing it this week.
Come on. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hoping that, I can be on Gary's radar, that I can get a shout out at FNT.
Yeah, talk to Finaldeathstar.
Right?
We're going with ETEP because ETEP, thank you, Makini. I love you, man.
No problem.
ETEP, you just got Willie as a new sub.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Willie the Monkey King, thank you. I am the skinny white Rick Ross, apparently. Damn,
bro.
Look at that. I went from Tim Pool to Rick Ross, man. No, I'm E-Temple Queen of E-Temple Queen is the place to be. Reviews. You can find me every Monday night live, 8:30 Monday night going in Raw, Tuesday on TR4 on Enter the Unfamiliar Nether Region's Finaldeathstar's channel at 6:30 for TR4 right now until we get him over to that 1,000 mark, get him monetized. Wednesdays back on my channel for going rogue after the dump at 7:30 when I take some of Scott's chat over to my channel and Steel Culture Casino from time to time and other peeps. But I love Scott, so he lets me do it. And Thursday mornings, I got the morning show, mornings with the place to be from 9 Eastern until 10:30 when I have to go to work. And Friday night, Fandom Menace Friday Night Live at 7 p.m. Eastern till 8:30. Then you get Batwoman reviews now starting this Monday. Batwoman reviews and Walking Dead reviews on Mondays. You get Prodigal Son reviews on Wednesdays. You'll get the WandaVision finale on Friday. And also now me and Enter the Unfamiliar are reviewing Superman and Lois on Fridays. So I have that to release. So yeah, I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, you are, man.
Shows I review and stuff. So a lot of streams I'm on. Thank you for having me on, man. It was kind of fun popping on here. I wasn't even planning on streaming tonight, but I said I'll make a Saturday appearance for you, man.
Got to do it, brother. Thank you for coming.
Thank you to the chat. Love you guys, man.
Peace. All right, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Nibble, motherfucker.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Nibble. Hey, so you can find me Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. That's a channel where I'm letting the guinea pigs run wild and starting to take over my channel now because it's a lot of fun watching those two little bastards just go at it. Because you know what? They get away with saying a lot more than I can because if you go against the guinea pig, well, you're a speciesist. So, but you can find me talking about other things. Like I did a couple of retro discussions on some of these retro toys that these companies are actually doing right and how much is actually appreciated by the people that are actually going out and buying them. Pay attention, people. It's really not that hard. You want to make money, put things out that people like. I also got a couple other reviews, like I did a review on the Masters of the Universe figures and what I thought about them. And then, of course, I do my normal stuff like, I don't know, talking smack about Walton and maybe Silent Infinity and a few other little videos that I drop from here and there. So if you want something fun, if you want something cool, stop by and check me out. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or shouldn't watch, because your silence gives consent. Resistance is futile.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you stopping in, my friend. And one of the ladies of the fourth wave and Rogue Entertainment, Jayne Theory.
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne.
Thank you.
Guys, we had a good night tonight. I hate putting myself on full. We had a good night tonight. Thank you, guys. This has been, new computer. I love it. This is hopefully the streams will just get better and better once I get some clips and figure out how to do that shit too. But the only clip I still have is for all of you out there. This one mostly is for Nerd Cookies if she watches this on replay.
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
And then I do too, people.
That seems like something a Dallas Cowboys fans.
Come on,
yeah. Hey, Nerd Cookies, it's her favorite one. That was for you. Guys, thank you to all my new members tonight. We had Storyman Jack and, oh my God, I'm blanking at the moment. I'm so sorry. Who was Time in a bottle. It won't let me go that back.
Settle down, Jim Croce.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
Profit?
No, I'm screwing it up right now. So
let's just time in a bottle.
Let's stop it. You'll be on this video coming up, but I like to think time in a bottle. If I could have time in a bottle. Thank you too.
You'd probably go get them snipped off.
Oh, you bastard. Thank you too. Tina Bojan. Who knew Jack D and Toxic Man Flu for being Littlefinger level supporters? This is for the rest of my members. Put a spork in it. We are done. See you guys Monday night. It's amazing. I can see the video. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da.